Hey guys, Foil Kook coming in here from beautiful Baja, Mexico. And yeah, I'm going to take you on a first look today with a new AFS wing. I am absolutely loving the new Enduro 900. So just a little bit of background here. I historically, I'd say for like the past year or so, I've been kind of a progression fanboy. I have the progression series in the 170, the 140, and the 125. I honestly didn't really start using the one, or I kind of stopped using the 170 once I moved on to these two. 140 kind of was my daily driver, and then the 125 was when the surf was a little bit bigger. But the one thing I felt like I was just missing was a really surfy wing that just wanted to turn super hard and just felt kind of like just carving really hard on a snowboard, which is kind of my background. So I demoed this AFS Silk back in August. I took it with to Indonesia, and I absolutely loved it. Like this thing was just love at first sight, and it was exactly the feel that I was looking for. It just feels like it wants to turn harder and harder, and I honestly, I don't know, 30, 40 days in on it so far, and I still haven't quite figured out how hard it can go. So when I look at this wing, this is my wing that I want to ride when the waves are good. When they're bigger, I don't know really where it kind of gets maxed out at, but I've taken it in overhead waves and it's still been able to handle it. I prefer to foil in more like chest to head high, or chest to shoulder. But yeah, this is definitely a wing that when the waves are good and there is a shoulder and lines that you can be carving on, this is absolutely, without a question, the wing I want to be on. However, there are those other days when you might be pumping a little bit more, maybe kind of just cruising straight line. You want to save your legs, and I was trying to figure out, is there like a two-wing AFS quiver that I could build? So is there another wing that would complement where this one, might not be used? So smaller surf, something that I really want to be effortless to pump. Again, this can pump. It has an aspect ratio of 8, and it's definitely a little bit more advanced when it comes to pumping. You really have to be on top of it. You need to stay high on the mast, exit the wave with more speed, and overall, you just can't really dig yourself out of a hole as much. Like the low end on this just isn't comparable to like the 140 or the 170 here, and I guess the 140 is kind of more similar in size, but yeah. So, anyways, love this wing, and I wanted to see if AFS could recreate Magic twice. So here I am with the Enduro. I was able to get this wing pretty early from the foil shop in Seal Beach. Love those guys, and shout out to them for just continued awesome customer service. But yeah, this wing I've taken out 3 times now in knee to waist high waves, and it just blew me away. It answered my question right away that this wing combined with the AFS Silk 850 is an awesome quiver, at least for the waves that I'd be in. I could honestly see myself just taking this with on a surf trip. I think also it travels better, so there's a little bit of a difference here, and they might recreate or come out with a new version of the Silk with this as well. But we have a wing here that is not permanently attached to its fuse. So it has a separate fuse, which means it just packs down smaller. Whereas the Silk is a permanent fuse connection, which makes it super sturdy, but it just doesn't travel as well. So you need a bigger bag there. And what I also like about this fuse design is a few things. So if you look at like a traditional fuse, kind of like the unifoil here, so you've got the wing, and then the wing itself connects into the mast, right? And then you have the fuse kind of starting here and going back here. And for unifoil, I bought 2 of these. I think they're like $300, so they're not cheap. And the difference is one's just 6 centimeters longer, and it gives me a slightly different position for my stabilizer. One's just a little bit further back, more stable, better pump, better glide. What they've done here is they do have a short and a long fuse, but their philosophy is a little different. They want these higher aspect wings that generally don't turn quite as well as like a medium aspect or a medium high, like the Silk. And so what they believe is by taking the front wing and making it closer to the mast, instead of just making the stabilizer closer, it makes it turn much better. And I must say, I absolutely agree with it. I think that's probably the future. And then what I also like, or actually love, is that in addition to this different kind of philosophy on how to make a shorter fuse, they have two different mounting spots here for stabilizers. So unlike all of these over here that you're looking at, I can move this stabilizer up one notch and it's going to be even more surfy, which honestly it was a little too surfy for me. So that's where I started. And then I moved it back just to have it be a little bit more stable, a bit more glide, a bit more pump. But it's just super versatile. I mean, here you've got two different options for your stabilizer, and it makes this huge AR of 11 turn honestly almost as good as my Silk. It kind of blew me away. But overall, I see myself on this in my kind of knee-high to waist-high days. I could probably take this out in anything that would potentially break. I mean, I think the mast would probably hit bottom before this wouldn't be able to work with the wave. But yeah, overall, super stoked on the Enduro 900. For anyone out there looking for a quiver to complement their 850, I think it's an awesome wing. I'm excited to hopefully try it out in some other sizes and give you guys a full review as I get some more time on it.